Hey, everybody. Well, by the grace of God, we made it back for another Monday. And I am trying to, y'all know I'm technically challenged, so just hold on a second. I'm trying to open up my room on Clubhouse so I could talk to the Clubhouse people too. But we're back for another session of It's TTT, y'all, where I get to talk to interesting people and tell their stories, and I have fun doing it. And tonight is going to be very interesting. Y'all pray for me, okay? Y'all just all I got to say is y'all pray for me. But I want to say thank you to the people last week. I cannot believe y'all stayed on there all that time laughing and talking with me. And I was telling a friend watching me watch TV as we watched The Bachelor and my little baby Emmanuel do his thing on the show. I want to tell y'all, thank y'all very much for hanging in there with me. We stayed on for, I think, almost about 2 hours just talking about stuff and giving our opinion, of which they didn't take any of it, but, we gave it anyway. And it's noted that our opinion was given. So I want to thank all of y'all for hanging in with me on, the devil is a lie. Where is this thing? For hanging in with me on for almost 2 hours. So also, with this being Women's History Month, what I want to do is I'm going to recognize my cousin Karen. I call her my crazy cousin. She transitioned this week, and she was dealing with Alzheimer's as I know it. But we were like 8 months apart. So her mother, my mom's only sister, got to keep us for a good while. And we were only 8 months apart. She turned 65 on March 16th. She can't talk about me because she's gone. But so she was 8 months ahead of me. So I just want to say she knows that I miss her, and we had crazy times when we were little. She always wanted my mom to be her mom, and I always wanted her mom to be my mom. But God gives you who you want, who He thinks you should have, right? So I'm just paying a tribute to her today because we're going to miss her, and everybody has fond memories of her. So whenever we have a memorial service, I know it's going to be filled with lots of jokes and laughter that she would definitely love. But also, I wanted to tell my folks on Clubhouse, I'm trying to open the room and I don't, something ain't working. So we were going to simulcast on Clubhouse and on Facebook. My mind is a terrible thing to waste, isn't it? But okay, y'all. Okay, I'm done. I'm gonna leave it alone. So tonight we have an interesting guest. I'm sorry, I dropped something. We've been knowing each other for quite a while. He's went to college. He's an alpha guy. He's a husband, a father. He has his own show with another couple of guys. What's the show called? I forgot. Real Fellows Talk Sports. That's right. He's a retired professional basketball player, and he's retired from the FDIC as a senior financial manager. So, y'all, if I was on Clubhouse, I say y'all do whatever, but y'all can welcome Bobby Kinzer. Say hi, Bobby.
Hello, Gloria Allen Smith. How are you doing today? You're looking marvelous.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Very colorful with the background and your pearls and everything. You just look so colorful.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. I enjoy color. It keeps me awake. I won't.
You've always been a very colorful person.
Don't start. It's not gonna go like this. It's not gonna go like this. Okay, Bobby. So I have to ask, and I know I don't want to ask this question.
Go ahead and ask
me. I have to ask my guest, so I prove that I know my guest. Lord have mercy. When do you remember the first time that you met me or knew me or whatever the case may be?
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
You know
I
what?
remember it so well. It was a dark and dusty evening. The
You know
wind was
what?
blowing easter wind. Okay, no, okay, I'm just joking. This I had to think about that. So, Gloria, I first met you at a Texas A&I Javelina basketball game where you were dating a guy named David Williams, by the way. And I
Oh,
remember, yeah, oh, I remember all of that. It was a Texas A&I basketball game. You had this kind of like gold or blonde hair. It was something like it was gold hair. What color? Am
privacy.
I right?
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. And that's when I first met you with that bam. I'm sorry. No, I like David. David was a cool guy.
David is a very nice guy. Don't talk about David.
I'm not talking about David. He was one of my teammates.
Okay.
Although he left when I came there because of
Mm,
you, but I'm not gonna go there.
you know what? Don't start that.
What?
Don't start that. He
I'm
did
sorry.
not
I'm sorry.
because of me. Now, don't even try it.
No,
So,
I
Bob,
said because of me.
oh, okay. Maybe he left because of you. It wasn't because of me. Now, anyway, you know what? I don't know. We may have to end this before it gets started. Ooh, thank you,
Oh,
Scott. You putting it in the Lord's hand. I'm so glad. I'm so glad you putting it in the Lord's hand because we only He knows what's going on about right now. So, Bobby, this is about you telling your story. So we're gonna get to listen to you for a while. You get to tell us. Okay, don't. Okay, let me be nice. Where you were born. You know about your siblings. Just all of that. You're from DC, right?
Washington, D.C.
Oh, excuse me, Washington, D.C. Okay.
Yes.
Tell
Born
us.
and raised. Chocolate City is not Chocolate City no more. It's now the Chocolate County. But I was born and raised, played basketball in high school, got a scholarship to Penn State University, transferred from there in 1977 and went to Texas A&I University
Mm,
and got a basketball professional contract offer to play in Europe. So I didn't finish my degree, and because I transferred and I took the contract and played in England for 2 years and Scotland. But what happened was after my first year, I had a great year, but I had a contract dispute. I came back and finished my degree at the University of the District of Columbia, and then went back overseas and played 4 straight years, one more year in England outside of London, and 3 years in Edinburgh, Scotland. Then my basketball clock expired, my body expired, and I had to get a real job. So I came back and I became a registered stockbroker and a registered investment advisor. And I started doing financial planning. Then I got into the regulatory side of banking for the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, FDIC. If you don't see those four letters in the window of your bank, take your money and run. I became a senior financial management analyst, and I retired after 30 years in 2017. And I am now a certified financial education instructor. For 18 years, I've had a nonprofit called LIFE, the Literacy Institute for Financial Enrichment. I teach financial literacy and education. We promote and educate from pre-K to grade. That means senior citizens,
yeah,
adults, teens, high schools. We teach financial to empower our community to be closing the wealth gap and the salary gap. So it's not about just equality, but we talk about
mhm.
equity inclusion. So that's my whole spiel. And then I met you.
Okay, sisters and brothers. How many you have?
Four sisters and two brothers. And this is so amazing about that, right? This
Yeah.
is so, I think this is so amazing about that. I'm the youngest of seven. I have a sister named Gloria,
Yes,
like you.
I know.
You have a brother named Arthur. I have a brother named Arthur.
Hmm.
Arthur. You have a sister named Linda. I
Hmm.
got a sister named Linda.
Amazing.
You have a husband named Robert. My name is Robert. We're so connected, so deep eternally into the spirit of love and joy and everlasting generational connection
It's
that
just
it can
amazing.
only be God. It can only be God.
It could only be God. It can only be God. Because no, I wouldn't have it. It could only be God. You're right.
Only.
It can only be God. I see. This
Yes,
is
thank
going.
God. Yes, yes.
Lord, Lord,
But
Lord.
I mean, isn't that amazing, though, Gloria? You got to admit
It is
that's kind of
amazing.
amazing.
It is
I
amazing. It
mean,
is
we couldn't
amazing.
have planned that if we tried.
And it's probably some birthdays connected somewhere too. But because
Yes, yes,
Gloria, is definitely a cool person. So I'm not
yes.
sure she was a Scorpio, but she could have.
No, 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 no.
Oh, she
She's a
wasn't.
September.
Oh,
She's a Libra girl.
oh, okay.
September 30th. Yes, yes.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. So now,
Oh,
where
wait a
did you?
minute. You're a Scorpio, right?
Yes,
That explains a lot. Good God
I
Almighty. But
know.
go ahead.
Taurus a bull. Right. Stubborn. Okay. You played high school ball where?
Woodrow Wilson High School in Washington, D.C. And we were the runner-ups in what they call the city championships. And I played, you've heard of AD, after death, or BC, before Christ. Well, I was BM, before Magic. I played point guard in high school, college, and in the pros. Yes, I'm 6'6", and my motto was, "The man is free, is the man that I see."
Mm, mm, mm. Yeah, and he tries to do stand up comedy too, but
No, I
we'll
don't. No, I
never
don't.
talk
No, I
about that.
don't.
Oh,
No, no.
you don't
Let me
anymore.
clear that up.
Okay.
Never. People, because I'm funny sometimes, they
Oh,
assume I was doing stand-up comedy. But
oh,
actually, I'm an MC. I do shows, and I just happen to do some jokes sometimes. That's
oh.
all.
Okay. Correct me. My
I'm
mistake.
not a comedian. That's above my comedy grade.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
And then I became more funnier when I actually met you. Got better jokes.
So you first went overseas in when? What year?
1979. I
Okay.
first went over when there was an actual childbirth that occurred just before that. And I went overseas in search of my dream of becoming a fantastic professional basketball player, hoping to come back to the NBA, and learned that the biggest thing I've learned about that, Gloria, was God is in control and I'm not in control of the daggone thing.
Well, that's true. That's definitely true. Now, where did you go? Was that where Kevin was?
Actually, no, I went, yes, well, Kevin ended up coming because I went to Scotland and the job came open and they took my recommendation because they trusted me enough. I played the year there and they never even seen Kevin, didn't even look videos. They just took my word. Kevin became the coach in Edinburgh, Scotland. And
Oh,
we went on to win championships in professional basketball. Kevin went on to become one of the most, he's in the British Guinness Book of World Records
oh, really?
for the most basketball trophies won in Great Britain.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
Kevin went on, and so yeah, we hooked up and from roommates at Penn State, and then Shoe Brooks
Mm-hmm.
hooked him up with the grad assistant job at Texas A&I,
Mm-hmm.
and then I went overseas. He went on to Angelo State as assistant coach, and then the
Okay.
job came open, and I told him, and that's how Kevin came overseas, and he stayed there. Ended up
Yeah.
staying there. Bless
Yeah.
his soul. May he rest in peace.
Uh-huh. So he was, because he graduated. We graduated at the same time because I have a picture of me and him and Holden Scott. So he graduated in '79, the same time I did. So that must have been after that. Must have been when he went to Angelo State because he came over there later.
Correct. That is actually right. Right after that, like after he graduated, and Shoe Brooks left and went to Converse, and Kevin went to, was it San Angelo? Yeah, he went to San Angelo State first. Yes,
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
and then he coached as assistant coach, and his first head coach job was in Scotland for the
Mm.
professional team that we played for.
So was that where he lived before he passed in Scotland? Or where was he?
No, he was living in London. He moved from Scotland to London, and that's when he really took off. His career took off because he was winning in the European circuit, and then he started doing NBA from London
Oh,
on TV, and then the NFL. They started, the NFL World Football League. He started coaching that. Then they got rid of the NFL teams in Europe, and then he became the commentator for NFL sports out of London. He was they would show the games from America, but they
Uh-huh.
would do the in studio. He would do the presenter, and he did that for about 17 years. He became one of the top
Wow.
sports analysts in England, in Great Britain, really. But he did it from London. He ended up living in London.
Okay. And I'm sorry, we're talking about a guy, Kevin Cato, who went to college with us. He was a friend of Bobby's, I guess before A&I. And he passed away. Has it been 2 years?
Yes, it was 2017. Correct.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it was end of 16. Right. So
Okay.
really
3.
2 years, right at the end.
Yeah.
Well, right at the end of 16.
Okay.
So that was like about 2 years. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. From bacteria from
Hey, neither
sepsis.
one of us count the end of 16. This is 2021.
Oh
6.
my God.
That's almost
This is
5 years.
2020. Well,
Yeah.
really, it's 4 years because it
You
was at the
math
end of the year.
too, huh?
Well,
A
even though I'm in
financial person.
finance, I
Look,
was never, I
you
was
can't
never really good at math. You know what I
you
mean? But I know one thing: me plus you always equaled a wonderful, wonderful. Oh,
you know what?
I was just trying to show my math skills.
Thank you. So after you left Scotland and you came back and did what? Oh, you say you got your degree then?
No, actually, no. I went to London for a year, came
Oh,
back, finished my degree, went back, played 4 straight years, then came back and became a stockbroker and a registered investment advisor. And my first clients was like NFL players and first DC lottery winner. But I got tired of that commission business because that was tough trying to earn a commission. Ooh, people don't know that sales is something. But I learned, and because I got all those designations, because
uh-huh.
I believe it or not, Gloria, I ended up with a double major in sociology and anthropology. But
Oh,
when
really?
I saw how much money I was going to make as a social worker, I said, look, I'll save the world after 5. And I started taking business courses, and that's how I got into high finance and at the FDIC liquidating banks.
So why didn't you use your anthropology with everything that's going on?
And that's what's so interesting because people always say that. But Gloria,
Mhm.
check this out. I use my anthropology and sociology degree more in my finance job than working as a social worker. Because these people would come in my office and they would sit down. I'm gonna kill that son of a. I'm like, oh, calm down. I actually use that more in my everyday living, especially being a Black man in the
Okay.
professional world of finance.
Uh-huh.
That training really, really paid off for me to understand what I call those pilgrims,
Uh-huh.
codename pilgrims. And so, because of my background in sociology, and then remember, growing up in DC was one of the hubs of the world as far as information. Then going north in
Uh-huh.
Pennsylvania and seeing how that culture, and then going to the daggone south to Texas, and then to go to England. That's almost like the whole full circle of this whole cultural thing experience called America. So I use it more, Gloria, more than any of my finance uh,
Really?
certificates.
So,
Oh yes, man.
so what was
People, something.
so why didn't you stay in England?
Well, the thing about England is it's first of all, let me go this way. America, there's just so many more opportunities.
Okay.
And England, believe it or not, I could have stayed in England, I could have stayed in Scotland, but
Uh-huh.
I just like the variety and really it's the opportunities in America were so much more greater than being over there. And I just didn't like that cold just being in Scotland and it's just damp. The sun don't shine. Look, I would go weeks without seeing the sun. So I used to just get a box of Raisin Bran and look at the sun on the box just to get some sun.
You
So
know,
and I'm trying to tell you, the culture was okay, but sometimes some of the opportunities, and believe it or not, racism is alive and well in Great Britain too.
oh really?
Yes, yes. That's what people don't
Okay,
understand the
but
whole.
you should have experienced it because being, when you're all in those positions of playing ball and all of that, you know.
And that's why I was worried because I wasn't playing ball anymore. And
Oh,
I was wondering, and you're right, because people would always go, "Oh, Bob, you're not one of them," because I was a star athlete, and I'm like one of them. And I saw how they treated people of color. Because what people don't understand, I know you heard of Brexit with England and Great Britain was dealing with, and it was all about currency, like going from the euro to just going on their own currency. But what Brexit was really about, Gloria, is the same thing what America is going through: immigration. They were worrying about the people of color coming through the borders. And the same thing with here. They don't want to admit it. The whole immigration thing is they say in 2040, 2/3 of the world is going to be of color. But what people don't know, I learned this in anthropology, Gloria, that's a big fake out. The world is actually majority of color anyway.
Anyway, yeah.
They try to make us think that we're in the minority. Right? That's the fake out. That's the fake out.
Yeah, that's true. But I think when they talk about it, they're probably talking more United States or something like that, as opposed to the world, because, it's the states. Well, no, like you say, it's not just the states, but I know the people here in the states they really concerned about it.
And this is what's happening too, Gloria. Globally, the white supremacy thing that's been increasing in America. But what people don't know in America, it's not just America. This is a global thing that's happening with white supremacy in Turkey, and I mean, in all these other countries, Portugal, and it's on the rise. But the good thing that I just want to remind people about, the good thing is, the good Lord is still in control. So stop panicking, y'all. Don't let them fake you out with this insurrection stuff and all. That's a bunch of bull. God is in control, and all these people who's going to go on that dark side, you just need to get out the way and let them crash and burn. Don't get into no arguments with them. Just get out their way, and God has got all of this. Because I'm telling you, the pandemic last year, Gloria, I had a great year. I played golf straight through. The golf courses were closed. I would sneak on the back nine, and me and my partners would nobody be out there. We played 18 holes. I was mad when they opened back up and they had to pay.
That's pitiful. That was stealing.
No. That was taking advantage of an opportunity.
Taking advantage of an opportunity. Taking advantage. So when did you said you went to University of DC. When did that happen? Did your mama make you go?
No. Well, no, but you know what? My mama always did want me to get a degree. So, yes, she didn't make me. It's just that that seed was planted in my head. So when I came back from that contract dispute, the first thing was, man, I need to finish my degree. I had 36 credits. I took 18 credits. That's a full load a semester, and I did it in a year. And the interesting thing, I got one of the BEOGs, a basic equal opportunity grant. So I never paid a dime for college for playing ball and getting a BEOG.
That's pitiful.
Who knew?
That's pitiful.
No, that's called taking advantage of the opportunities that are given to you. There's a book called The Obstacles is the Way. And it says obstacles is just another chance for you to better your conditions. See, I don't believe that there's really problems. I just believe there's solutions.
Okay.
Gloria, there's three kinds of people in this world, okay?
Okay.
People who watch what happened, people who make it happen, and people don't know what the hell happened. So which one you gonna be, okay?
Well, it's some of all of them out there. So what can you say? That's all I can say. Some of all of them out there.
What's your cousins, okay?
Hey, not only mine, yours too, okay?
All of ours.
Let's be real. It is what it is. All of us
my family got more issues than Jet. I ain't lying.
Okay. What was my next question? You graduated, then you went back to, where did you go after you graduated? You went back. You decided
I went back
to try another one.
Yeah, I went back and they offered me a contract to come back, and I went back and played, and I made commercials, I made voiceovers, I got into entertainment, I was in the first musical video, Carla DeVita, who was the lead singer for the rock group Meatloaf. I was in that. If you go out on, what's the name of the song? What is it? Cold World. Carla DeVita, you'll see me go past the screen. It's pretty fast, so don't blink. And so I went back and did a lot of things. I did camps, and that's one of the things I learned when I was over there. A lot of basketball players just play basketball and got caught up into that and the drug scene. But because of the people that I met, had planted the seeds to do more, be more than just an athlete, just be more than a jock. And so I was able to explore those things when I was over in Europe, and I was thankful for those opportunities because it gave me the experience that I needed when I came back.
Okay. All right. And then you came back and the world started turning.
Oh my God. And look, I was trying to hold on because I'm telling you, the thing about ex-athletes, Gloria, because most of them don't prepare themselves, and most of them don't even get their degree. So when they come back, they're struggling because by me playing 5 years, that meant my class was 5 years ahead of me into their job. They invested into their pensions, but I had to start entry level, and so that was tough. And a lot of players, professional players, they come back and nothing's wrong with this, but they either become car salesmen or security guards. Not that that's bad, but that's the only opportunities they would have, or they would struggle, being able to qualify. So because I had my degree, I was able to go to this financial institution, and their strategy was, look, we can teach you all about finance. It's just that you have the quality, athletes have the qualities of most successful business people and salespeople. They know how to work in teams. They know how to deal with success and failure. And they know how to be given a task and go about it and implementing it. And they said, those are qualities you just can't train. And so that gave me the opportunity to get in the door on finances.
Oh, cool. Oh, cool. So you decided you liked them and you stayed there.
And I stayed there for a minute, and then I got into the regulatory side of banking because I was getting commission. And in the 85, that's when I came back. Financial planning for, let's just say, Black people was like, they didn't know anything about it. They thought financial planning was only for rich people. But what they didn't know was people who had the less money was people who need the most planning. But they had it backwards. So I would go to my friends that were athletes, and they were like, oh, okay, I got to pay for that, Bob. So my friends who sold a car, right, they would take a person out, drop the top back, and drive around the beltway, and the people feel the air in their hair, and they buy the car. But I'm selling abstract. I'm selling stocks. A person that took 5 years to save $5,000, I say, give it to me, and I can double it in 10 years. 10 years? Fine. And so I'm selling, and then they would call me up like this, Gloria. I'm a stockbroker. Hey, Bob, what's the name of that stock you told me about? I said, GMP, Generex. Okay. I said, wait a minute. Are you going to buy it from me? No, I'm going to Charles Schwab. It's cheaper. So how am I going to make a living? So I went into the regulatory side of banking. And I ended up learning how to liquidate banks that were insolvent. I would close them around the country. I would walk in the door in Portland, and they would go to a bank. I'm the lead, only Black man in America closing banks. And they would go, hi, you must play for the Portland Trailblazers. And I go, no, on behalf of the Federal Deposit Service, you've been placed in the receivership. Please send me to your boss's office. See? And I ain't gonna lie, I got a kick out of that. I ain't gonna lie.
Well, that's what, when they assume that's what happens. So
yes, sir.
It's that's the way of this world. Yes. So you didn't close down any Black banks, did you? I mean, it ain't
actually. I personally didn't, but they did close a few Black banks, and it seemed, and I'm sure you probably heard this before, it called it too big to fail, where the bank is so big because the FDIC, we have a fund, and the fund is like about 100 billion, but we insure over $9 trillion because you do the math. So if it was like I don't want to say any name bank, but like Wells Fargo, it's so big. If Wells Fargo have assets of over, close to, what are they at? About maybe 100 billion, no, close to 600. So we can't really close it, but the black banks don't have anywhere near that because they're usually community banks. And so if they got in trouble, they would get closed first. And it was kind of unfair, but
totally unfair.
Yeah, but no, never closed a black bank. Thank God.
Okay, good.
There were a lot of black people in banks, though.
And well, that's true because they don't pay that well.
Yeah,
just exactly. Like the store. So yeah, it's a lot of us in
there. Right.
You took some jobs. You took some jobs. So now, after you came back, so after that, okay, you got to talk about where did you and Tiffany meet? How did that happen? That happened after you went to FD. No, that happened before you went to FDIC.
Well, actually, the company before the FDIC was called the Federal Savings and Loan Insurance Corporation. The FDIC closed commercial banks. The Federal Savings and Loan used to deal with savings and loan. It all rolled into one. Okay. That's where I met Tiffany at work.
Okay.
I knew Tiffany 13 years before I married her.
Okay.
And so she
a patient woman.
I didn't. We didn't date.
Okay.
We just were co-workers. Stop it. Okay. But one day though, Gloria, we turned down that street.
Oh, okay.
And after 13, no, it was about 11 years. It was about maybe 11 years, somewhere in there. And she was on one team and she would travel to one part of America and I would travel to the other. So we never met up. But then one day, we were always friends. We became friends. And we went down that street one day and boom. And we became lovers and we married.
Okay. You became better friends. And then you have one beautiful young lady.
Yes, Melody.
Is she going to college or is she already in college?
She just signed with the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill.
Oh, UNC Chapel Hill. Okay. That's where I was people from North Carolina. Okay. So now.
Are we going to stop there?
Yeah, we're going to stop there. We can stop there.
We're going to talk about Scott?
Yeah, we can talk about we can talk about all your children. Yeah, we can talk about
Hold up. I got to plug in my computer. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Don't stay with me. Forgive me.
Lord, forgive.
I was on the Zoom before this, and it's taking up all, and I don't want to lose you. So stay up. I mean, like before. I don't want to lose you. Okay.
Whatever. Scott say 2 beautiful young ladies and a young man. Yes.
So I have Tanisha Ellison,
Tanisha,
yes, who's in Houston, Texas, and she's a great teacher in communications, right?
And mommy too, right?
And mama, right, right, to Morgan, and she coaches girl high school basketball.
Oh wow!
Yep. She has a varsity, JV, and freshman team. She does well. She's a great coach. And then I have the wonderful Scott Allen. Isn't that amazing? His last name is just like
that's just amazing. I can imagine.
Isn't that amazing? And such a wonderful young man in New York City University, and he is the first. He has the gene from the great and Pooh of Gloria Allen Smith.
Oh yeah, praise the Lord.
He's just like his mama.
You know what? He's supposed to be. Okay.
Oh, Gloria, I don't know if I ever told you, but you know what? You are an incredible mama.
Oh, thank you.
You know what? No, seriously.
Okay.
No, Gloria, if I've never said that, I just want to say that now to the world, that you've been an incredible mother. I mean, I
Oh,
always knew you were a mother before
mm.
that, but
You know
you're
what?
great.
You know
What?
what?
No, don't take it like that. I meant as a
You
mother.
said it
You
like that, okay?
no.
Okay. So anywho, okay. Can we please move on?
Okay,
So
okay.
now,
Moving right along.
so you have one grandbaby, Morgan, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So
6 years old.
have you got to throw her up in the air yet?
Yeah, I used to swing her on my foot with the
Oh,
human swing. That's one of my little moves. I use the human swing move.
oh,
She got the human swing. Yeah,
okay,
she got to throw.
okay.
She's 6 years old now. She's getting tall. I don't know
Oh, okay.
if my old butt be able to throw up too much more.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I didn't realize she was that old. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So I guess we have to talk about finances. What advice do you have for the people out there? If there was one thing that you could tell, well, I'll give you three, maybe. Three things that you could tell people who, whether it's well, I'll tell you what, the millennials, give them some advice. Gen Xers, give them some advice, and baby boomers, give them some advice.
Good Lord, Gloria.
And take your time. We got
You
a
act
few.
like you paying me for this interview.
I am.
Okay, so Gloria, let's start this way.
Jesus, all the money in the world is God's, and He got you.
Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So, Gloria, let's start like this. There's
Okay.
three main reasons why people struggle with their finances, right?
Okay.
One, they fail to plan. Two, they lack information. And three, misinformation. And the misinformation is usually the biggest one because those are usually your family and friends trying to tell you things to do. You know how everybody had that uncle at the cookout telling you all these get rich quick schemes and this mug be broke. It's like this mug I knew at A&I, Texas A&I, always trying to tell me how to get an A, and this guy always got D's, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the advice going forward about building wealth, creating wealth, and legacy wealth. And this goes for millennials, Generation X, Z, whatever you want to call, and the baby boomers. The first thing, Gloria, is you control your money and don't let your money control you. Mm-hmm. Most people work for their money instead of having their money work for them. Mm-hmm. And one of the greatest things that works in your behalf and attributes to creating wealth is compound interest. Mm. Albert Einstein said it the best. He said, people who understand interest earn it. People who don't pay it. What do I mean by that? If you paying all those 18, 25% on those credit cards, you are paying interest. But if you're investing in your 401k plan, your 403b plan, or mutual funds, or IRA, then you are using interest to your advantage. Most people, especially Black people, not 40% of Black people's assets are their home. And that's not bad, but if all your money's in your home, you got to keep pace with inflation and keep pace with taxes. So your money has to have earning power. If your money isn't growing, then you're not getting ahead. For instance, if you saved $1 and you put it in your mattress last year, you saved $1 and gum was $1. And this year, gum is $1.50, and all you have is $1. Guess what? You will not be getting any gum. So your money has to have purchasing power. You need to make sure it's growing. One of the ways to do it is to get in the stock market. So now, Gloria, a lot of people, I know you heard about Robinhood and GameStop and Reddit and all the people hearing all this stuff, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, people hearing all this stuff. This is the name of the game. If you don't understand what you are getting into, this is the basic understanding. You don't need to be getting involved. All the Robinhood stuff, that's great. But if you don't understand what you're getting into, that's why people get it. Please understand what you're doing. I'm not saying.
I wish I would have been in on that GameStop.
Yeah, everybody. But that was a fluke. Because if you would have been on the wrong side, but but if you had been on you talked about the upside, but what about the downside of GameStop? Your book would have lost. So, and that's what, you know what they always kill me with people that gamble. You know, they go to MGM here in Maryland. And they always tell me about the money they win, but they never tell you about the money they lose. You know what I'm saying? They never tell you that.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's a watch. You got. So anyway, Gloria, that's what I would tell the young people. Yes, learn about finances. And this is the nugget. It's about acquiring appreciating assets.
Mm.
A car is not an
Mm.
appreciating asset. When you drive it
Mm.
off the lot, it loses anywhere between $6,000 and $8,000 there. So the name of the game is purchase. I remember they used to get on them hip hop guys in the 70s and 80s when they were wearing all the big thick gold chains. Remember that? But to tell the truth, they had better investment than all these people buying these Mercedes and stuff. They had real gold around in there. And they were talking about them young boys. I'm like, do you see all that stuff that mug got on? He at least got something he can barter with. So that's what some advice I would give.
Now, do you still do brokerage or?
No, I don't. I decided, Gloria, the brokerage side, you purchase products for the people, and you tell them this is long term, and they call you the next day. Man, boy, the market went. No, I got tired of that. So I teach financial education, and I can go home and don't have to worry about Muzz get mad at me because I told them a stock that wasn't growing as fast as they thought it should be.
So who's the best brokerage firm to deal with?
That's not fair to do that, because if I get into doing that, because this is how people do in my experience, Gloria.
I just asked you. You could say E-Trade, Charles Schwab.
No, I can't. I can't say that because it all depends on your personal risk tolerance. It depends on your personal financial goals. And see, that's why people, when they listen to people like Susie Orman, I know you heard of that, or Dave Ramsey, they give these plans and strategies, but they for specific people. So for me to just say this firm is the best one to go to and not knowing your risk tolerance, I could be guiding you to the wrong people.
Well, so it's all long term.
No, but now that's not true, because most people don't do long. You tell them long term, like I just told you, and the next thing you know, the market drop and they take it out and put it in something else. Let me give you people with those 401k plans. As soon as the market drop, they try to move their money out of one stock into another. Yeah. And I tell them, no, over time the market will return itself, but most people don't do it, Gloria. And so what I'm gonna do for you, I'm gonna go against my own. Because what happened, Gloria, I tell these people, next thing on Facebook, they be saying, Bobby Kinzer told me out there that mug don't know a goddamn thing. So, you know how they do. But let me tell you, the best place to invest, Gloria, is in mutual funds. Why? Because stocks is just one stock and it's risky. But mutual funds stands for management company. So if you get in a mutual fund and someone
else doing your stuff.
Yes, because you don't know. So why not pay them a expense ratio like Fidelity?
I know. That's why I want to know which one to use.
Like, well, I just could throw out a couple because I don't want to be
biased. I already got some recommendations. You don't have to tell me because I don't want nobody going on Facebook and saying you told them to use Charles Schwab
and they lost their money.
And they lost their money.
But I can say this: people like Fidelity and Vanguard, I'm not talking about other people. So that's all I can tell them. And the name of the game is, Gloria, mutual funds. That's it. They are experts. So why not pay a small percentage for them to manage your fund? Because you don't know, and that takes a lot of the risk, not all the risk out, but it helps you. And that's what I would advise people to do. I'm not more into what company to go with, but get a group mutual fund or IRA or Roth IRA. Right? Especially nowadays, the Roth IRA, where you go ahead and pay the taxes now, you never have to worry about paying on the earnings again.
Okay. Bitcoin.
Oh my Jesus Christ.
So what you know about?
I know quite a bit. I just said 2 weeks ago with the Security and Exchange Commission, right? That's who regulates the stock market. But do you know that Bitcoins aren't regulated, by the way? Do you know that Bitcoins are a decentralized currency, meaning it's just a whole, everybody has a part of it. And it's so speculative. And let me just explain it this way. The difference between a Bitcoin and your money, there's nothing but a bit and a byte in the bank anyway, right? Right?
Yeah.
It's not no hardcore dollars in your pocket. It's just a bit and a byte in the computer. But this is the difference, though, Gloria, and people need to understand. In the bank, your bit and byte, and not one, that's a very good one, Gloria. And two, it's backed by somebody who has a mortgage that's paying a mortgage, a loan, a car loan, a personal loan. That's backed by people paying money. Bitcoin is backed by zero.
Yeah.
Nothing. Gloria. So and it's so crazy. It's so crazy, right?
But the way it multiplies, I just have to find somewhere to spend it. I don't know where to spend it at yet. And they say different retailers, etc., are taking it, but I can't find anywhere to spend it. Now, I ain't put that much. I just put a few dollars. But it's
but how do you know which? So let me ask this question: do you know which Bitcoin to purchase? That is over 4,000 Bitcoins now. Do you know which one to get into? Do you know how they grow in value? Let me tell you how they grow in value. Since you asked me, they go in value by the people who put money in it. Now, that sounds like a daggone Ponzi scheme to me. You know. Whoever's putting the most money in this particular Bitcoin, that's the Bitcoin that's going to grow in value. So that means it could go down at any time. Now, I'm not saying it's bad, and I'm not saying it's good, right? Because people make money off of it. But to me, it is not no long-term investment.
Well, if I knew how to spend it, it could be a short term. Because I just put on my I just did it on the Cash App, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just see if I put $3 or $4 in there. It's up to $72 now.
Yes, and so,
but I don't know how much that is, and what I need to do. So, but it's just
so where can you cash that? But how can you cash that Bitcoin into dollars? So remember, I just said a few minutes ago, I said, whatever you get into, make sure you understand.
I'm researching. Thank you.
But be after the fact. But go ahead and make your Bitcoins.
It ain't but a few dollars. Okay, I'm not.
Oh, you got it like that?
I'm not a gambler. I don't do it.
Remember this, Gloria. It's not how much you make; it's how much you keep.
Well, I got my $4.
No, you don't. It's in a Bitcoin. It's somewhere. It's somewhere out there in cyberspace, and you don't even know what space is in. God bless you.
That's okay. I'm gonna find out how to spend it, okay, before it go down.
Maybe that's God letting them know. He said, maybe I need to get this girl a Bitcoin so she won't be able to spend it. Maybe that's God right there.
I know what. I don't even know what you're talking about.
I said, because you don't know what to spend it on.
Well, since we didn't get connected to Clubhouse, I guess your friends don't have any questions to ask you. So
because they all know me. They all know me. I'm an open book. I've always been that way. I've always been an open book.
I see, there it is, but I don't know. No, that's not it. But no, you ain't always been an open book. But anyway,
whoa, no. You can't do that. No. If you want to put something out there, throw something out there and try to breeze by it. I have. First of all,
yes, you have always been an open book. You're right.
And this too, Gloria.
You have.
And let's go on record with this. The open book has to be read to know what's in the book.
Okay, thank you. He said something, y'all. So, tell us about your show that you're doing, the Real Sports Talk, to change the subject.
Okay. Good.
When does it come on? When does it come on?
It comes on every Wednesday at 8 p.m. It's guys. Oh my God!
8 p.m. Eastern.
8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right? And we just talked about sports, the whole Let me turn this phone. I need to go on airplane mode, so that's won't be great. So yes, and so Gloria, I have another show coming out. It's going to be streaming called Fit: Financial Information for Today and Tomorrow. It's the Fit Show. We're trying to get people's finances in shape, and we're going to be going live coming in April. And I'll be broadcasting out there when and where on Facebook Live, and we stream it on YouTube. And then we have another show coming out called OPO, On Point Opinions, where we're discussing all the significant topics of the day. And we're trying to make it really, really, really for people to deal with facts versus fiction. So those are 3 shows that I'm going to be doing, and I hope people tune in. Just stay tuned on Facebook and YouTube.
You need to get those on Clubhouse too. You really do.
Yeah, I'm so. You know what I'm amazed with you is your technological savvy.
Yes, I'm more millennial than the millennials, so you know.
Yeah. You know what, and that's, you know what, I said that about you way back then. I said, you know what, Gloria is more millennial than the millennial, and that was back in the 70s.
Millennials wasn't even a word back then. Okay, so don't even try it.
No, I meant multifaceted, should I say?
Okay, thank you.
Like Sybil. No, I'm just kidding.
You know what?
You know, I'm just joking. That's a joke.
Yeah, I know. You have to laugh at yourself.
Thank you.
Well, I guess that's all the questions we can come up with that.
Okay. Groovy.
You know, that need to happen. So I want to thank you, sir, for taking this time to tell us about Robert Kinzer. If anyone wants to get in contact with him, you can go through me and I'll give you all of his information. If you're looking for advice on whatever, that's the way we do it here. We connect people. And
can I give my website for them to connect instead of trying to connect directly to me?
What question you want to ask, Scott? What? Okay, what's the website? Wait, hold on. Let me put it up here.
It's financialenrichment.org. All one word. Financialenrichment.org. You can go out there and see the webinars that we have, the information on financial education, and the name of our nonprofit is LIFE, the Literacy Institute for Financial Enrichment.
Did I spell that right? No, F-I-N-A.
No, you did. Get that A out of there.
Yeah.
Get that A out of there.
Let's see.
And yes, so go out there and I'm the president of LIFE. I love saying that. It sounds so cool.
The president of LIFE.
Yeah, Literacy Institute of Financial Enrichment. That's what it stands for.
Is that right? Okay, let's see. F-I-N. Is that right?
That is correct. Enrichment. That is it. That's our website.
Okay.
Please go out there, and we got webinars and seminars that will be coming up. And now, because we in this COVID environment, we can broadcast all over the world.
Okay, and it's all streaming now.
Yes. Hey. So before we go, I just want to ask you this one question.
Oh Lord, have mercy, Jesus, help me, Lord.
No, seriously. You went to Texas A&I.
Yes.
And you were in these speech competitions, if I'm right, correct?
Yes.
And that's why you have TTT, because your pronunciation dialect has always been impeccable.
Mm-hmm.
But you were also going down this English. Seemed like I thought you were going to become a teacher, actually. English.
What's your degree in education?
Yeah. So, but you ended up in transportation.
Because I didn't pay anything.
Oh, just like my sociology.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I always thought
you get into reporting, so I went in. I couldn't get in, so I had to do something.
Okay, because I just know back in school, you were like the valedictorian of Texas A&I when it came to education. That one lady, Tobias, was pushing you. You were winning trophies and speaking and stuff like that. And I always knew you were educated because you educated me on some things,
you know,
that I am so thankful to this day because, and I don't think I ever got a chance to say that to you, Gloria.
Oh, thank you, Bobby. Appreciate it so much.
And then this is my last statement. Can I make this last statement, please?
Oh no, go ahead.
I've been watching you on this, and your eyes have always intrigued me. Have anybody mentioned anything about your eyes? Because 1 minute they look like Chinese geisha girl, then the next minute they're like looking like, I don't know, this.
I understand.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you speak with your eyes. You've always done that. Did you ever really notice that you did that? That a lot of times you speak with your eyes, and by the way, I used to read your eyes a lot, and you would tell so much about yourself. And I don't know if you realize that.
Yeah, it's okay. I've always been very transparent. You knew what I was thinking.
Gloria, that's okay. We'll leave that for another day. That's not really fully the truth. Okay. You're a mystery woman, and anybody on this show would attest to what I'm saying. And I like that about you because it's like, ooh, declaring mystery woman. That's how you always been, and that's what be honest. That's one of the things I really admired about you, the mystique of Gloria Allen.
That's why you just froze. That's the Lord talking to you. That's why you just froze. He's like, okay, that's enough. That's enough. So, everybody, thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed. It was interesting, and we made it through. Thank the Lord. A whole hour.
A5A till the day I die.
Yeah, ski fi. Okay.
Hey, Gloria, do you remember when I marched by myself? I was the lone alpha on the campus, and I marched.
We should have a video of that. Yeah.
I almost died because I was doing the lead and the background. Do you remember that? I was the only alpha, and all them Qs and Kappas kept calling me the lone alpha. So remember, I got the mask and the cape, and
I remember
that. We almost died that day because I was worn out.
I believe it because you were showing out. Now, so thank you everybody for being with us this Monday. Next Monday will be fun because I'm going to bring the younger son on, and we're going to talk about parenting a child with disability and the support that you need. So we're going to have several of the people who have supported him throughout his life from Maryland and Illinois and Texas, I believe, to talk about the things that they've done to help support Jarius in his growth. And yesterday was World Down Syndrome Day, and y'all know how I love my child. He is a blessing beyond compare. Though as he's getting older, he's about ready for me to knock him out, but I'm not going to knock him out because they might put me in jail.
Mama said, knock me out. Mama said.
But I hope y'all join us again next week. Same time, 8 p.m. Central, right here on Facebook and on Clubhouse. Maybe we'll get it working next time. But we have some interesting shows coming up because I've met a lot of interesting people on Clubhouse, and we're going to be doing some of their shows. But thank you. And go out, get your vaccine Lord have mercy. Vaccine if you can. Keep wearing your mask because everybody ain't clean. And keep your distance, and most of all, keep your peace and don't let anybody take it from you. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you for this opportunity, Glo.
You're more than welcome, sir. Good night.